on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Basketball and more.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho. Live from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or the Poconos. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by the Sportscast. This is Santiago Leon. I am subbing for Victor Arocho, who is on assignment tonight. Tonight is March 6th, 2025. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels: YouTube, X, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on an Apple Podcast, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also online digital radio. You can visit our website, thesportscast.net. Also, follow us on X at the Sportscast1, and check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. Well, a lot going on in sports news, and we'll start off with Mr. Jones, who Mr. Don't have a clue, but he's a little bit offline. So let's go with Gabriel, who is one of our contributing writers for the Sportscast. New probably has been writing for us for the past 2-3 weeks. Gabriel, give us a quick intro of yourself and your bio.
Hello. Thank you, Santiago and friends. Appreciate being on Sportscast. Yeah, we're writing. I love everything you're doing with the Sportscast. Have to be aboard. We're doing it all. We're doing basketball. That's hot right now. At UFC, that's coming up this weekend, and the NFL that doesn't sleep either. So there's always plenty to talk about it. But again, thanks for having me on, Santiago.
No. Really appreciate your writing. Doing really well. Yes, a lot of NFL goes on. I say NFL goes quiet till July a little bit. Goes for a nap, and then hits back up in August. Kevin Tyree, how's well? You're down here in Miami with me. It's a little bit cool today, isn't it? And Kevin's there, switching around. Yes, he might be a couple of doors down. Anyways, we'll continue. Kevin, you there? Oh, there's Kevin.
I have a real bad connection, man. I don't know why.
Kevin, maybe restart your computer or the connection. That could help. It solves half the problems. Mr. Byron going on his cell phone. The computer did not work out.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
How's the weather up there at the Poconos? Are you there?
Yeah, it's been like 50s, rain, the usual. But it's a little bit better this time than coming up here and there's snow up to my eyelids or whatever. But it's cool. It's pretty nice.
Gabe, Mr. Jones, he's retired, so he goes on vacation every other month. It feels like that's the trend lines in Vegas. Every month, that's right. He is enjoying life every second of it. So, anyways, let's get this party going. A lot going on. Last week, Matt Stafford decided to stay in LA, staying for $50 million. Actually is worth, he took less money with the Rams, 4 years, $160 million. Now the question is Aaron Rodgers. A lot of teams are needing quarterbacks, veterans, to help out these rookies. But Byron, what have you heard about Aaron Rodgers going to the Giants potentially?
Man, I don't want it. I'm a Giant fan. You know that. And I really don't want Aaron Rodgers, man, to come there, man, because it seems like, he left Green Bay, destruction. He left the Jets, destruction. Shane and the other guy, Dable, are already on a short leash, and they're not set up to succeed with him because the offensive line stinks. They got basically one receiver, so that means if the Giants sign him, they're going to bring Aaron Rodgers and going to be Devontae Adams as well. And we don't. We need to build it from the bottom up, man. We can't keep just putting a little patch on it and expect a 41-year-old quarterback to come in and fix a train wreck.
Gabe, what's your thoughts over this? I know you've been following a little bit on this situation with quarterback carousel, but what do you think about Aaron Rodgers going to the Giants? And Mr. Jones mentioning about potentially Adams as well. Comes in two for the price of one.
Yeah, 2 for the price of 1. Are they at half off? Is it a BOGO? Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's something like that. I don't like it. I don't love it. The defense is largely fine. I think your Giants defense. I think you're more or less good to certainly compete for second place in this division. The offense has just been atrocious, and Aaron Rodgers at this point needs a lot around him to be well established, to have a good foundation. And I'm a fan of Coach Brian Dable. I don't think you have that right now in the Giants at all. So I think it'd just be the Jets 2.0.
Yeah, Jets 2.0, not really moving around. New York, I mean, all the New York teams have not done well, Byron. You know that. I can't even say, which team are in the better position. I think with new coach Aaron Glenn, I like him. I like his attitude. I like his motivation, his press conferences. But let's look back at the combine, Byron. Like, did you see any potential there for the Giants? Obviously, I know that a lot of the quarterbacks didn't throw; they're waiting for the pro days. But are you more inclined with the rookies than Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, because if you're gonna build it right, don't patchwork it, with a 41-year-old quarterback. Go ahead and draft Cam Ward or Sador Sanders. I don't have a problem with the kid from Mississippi, Dart, but not at 3.
Dart, yeah.
He's not a 3 guy. If they drop down and got a bunch of other picks, for somebody to swap spots, that would be cool. But and the other thing we didn't bring up was Okereke, the linebacker. They were talking about maybe releasing that guy, and he's probably their best defensive player. So I don't know what they're doing. They need help for Dexter Lawrence, next to him, because he got injured. Tibbs is on a prove it kind of thing. Banks was awful last year, corner, so they need help a little bit everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah, a lot going on there. So that's like with the combine. Gabe, did you see anything special in the combine? I know this year, I don't think too many records were broken, but what were your thoughts overall over the combine?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts on the combine, and that's that I didn't watch a single second of it, and I don't plan to within the next 20 to 30 years. I'm more worried about what the boys put on tape in games. I'm less interested in hand size. I'm less interested in in how they do in drills where they have to run across the field and then look one way, look another, right? Well, that's not an in-game situation, but the scouts love it and the GMs love it, so we all pretend that it matters. Show me what you did in college. That's the best indicator for me. What the combine can use, what the combine can be served for, is how those interpersonal talks and relationships with potential teams. How do you sound? How do you come across? And are you good with ball talk? Are you good talking ball? That's what teams can actually benefit from it. But I'm really less interested in the standing long jump. That missed me with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the combines definitely was different this year, and also some players that need to show more proof or to the scouts. Hey, maybe I am the man. Maybe you didn't see it during the regular season, but look what I've done. I worked out a little bit the past couple of months, and let's see where it goes. But
hey, I got
go ahead,
one
Byron.
thing. Yeah, they were talking about Sanders, Sador Sanders, and that he came across as brash and a little arrogant, and instead of like a GM or whatever coach probably said that put a name to it. Don't just throw it out there, because that's how a lot of these kids draft stocks get hurt. Because somebody throws something like that. Well, he's when we talked to him, he was arrogant, he was brash, he was this, that. If a coach is going to sit there or GM is going to say something about a player, go ahead and put a name up, because it's hurt a lot of players in the past where they threw that little thing at during the combine or before the draft. Put your name to it. Don't just sit there and say this guy is this, and this. Don't do that.
And don't pull a Laramie Tunsil either.
That's
Kevin, you're back. You know about Laramie Tunsil in the combine. How important is these these couple of days for a few of these players?
That's very important for the players because that's other than their college film, that's what they do their interviews, get the character and stuff like that. So it's very important. I did hear about that Shadur Sanders being arrogant and
Little
being
cocky.
cocky, but they need to take and look at the film of his dad. That's how he was raised to be confident.
Yeah, and that's what that is. It's confidence. That's just the way he is.
Exactly.
Wow, a lot of NFL Combine here talk, but let's switch back a little bit back to the Giants. The big deal why Aaron Rodgers is being speculated is because Matt Stafford was sniffed on by the Giants. They were interested. Also, the Steelers were also interested, and the Giants offered a contract worth of $90 to $100 million. But he took less money with the Rams. Mr. Byron, what do you think happened there? I mean, I know LA is beautiful, but
Wow.
I guess the money didn't really talk as loud.
Let's see. Sean McVay, who we know is going to be there. The nice weather. A better team. Or we go to the Giants, where Shane and Dable are pretty. I ain't gonna say dead man walking, but I might as well say dead man walking. They're walking. Because they don't win, they're done. Both
Out
of
of
them.
there. Out of there.
If they sit there and offer 90 to $100 million, whatever. Let's see. They had a quarterback, Daniel Jones, that was paid $40 million. They didn't want to pay the guy that just got $20 million a year, down there in Philadelphia, and stuff like this, man. It just is like crazy. Yeah, I don't know which organization, spend. They're gonna a 37-year-old quarterback that kind of money. That's
great. Yeah,
that's free money. And as Joe Shane said, he's gonna look for a quarterback everywhere, even under a rock. But Gabe, what do you think about that? Which is a good point about these old quarterbacks. They could get paid, up there with $15 million per year, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't mind necessarily getting an older quarterback. I'm not ageist, right? You get experience with that. You get a guy who knows how to run a huddle, who knows how to run a team, who kind of knows the drill. You need to get him though before the wheels fall off, and so that's the delicate balance. So I would be hesitant to pay something along the lines of what we see here on the screen, $90 to $100 million, because also at that age, you also need a better supporting cast than what you would have in your prime. So I think that dollar amount is a little high. I would say I still think Stafford has plenty left in the tank.
I agree.
In my view, he's still a top 5 quarterback. I like it better that he's running it back with the Rams because they had something going there toward the end of the year. Let's not forget too, they damn near beat Philadelphia in the playoffs in Philly. Yep. So we got to see now, which are they closer to that team that damn near beat the Super Bowl champions, or are they the team where it was, oh my goodness, are they going to get to 500? So we got to see which side they end up being. I think they're closer to that team that nearly advanced to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's something that Victor Rocho brought up a couple of weeks ago. Is like that game was pretty closer than you think. Kevin, your thoughts about Matt Stafford staying in LA? Is that a good decision by him and the Rams?
No doubt. Warm weather. I guess at this point of his career, it's not about the money, because he's gotten 3 of those big contracts.
True, and the
only other player that has a little bigger contracts than him is that Kirk Cousins, and I still can't figure that out. I think he won one playoff game.
One playoff game. $91 million in 14 games. Can you believe that?
That's ridiculous, man. Come on.
What can you do with $91 million in Atlanta?
You do a lot.
I could tell you. I could give you some ideas, Santiago.
Very much so.
I can only imagine, Gabe. But yeah, there you go. Matt Stafford, good decision. There's still more quarterbacks out there that are looking for homes, like Kirk Cousins. I've been hearing the Vikings again, but that's another topic. Let's stay with the Giants. NFL Insider ESPN predicts New York Giants signing cornerback DJ Reed. Mr. Byron, your thoughts of that? He's from the Jets, actually. So
Well, at
What are your
least he ain't
thoughts
got
on
that
that?
far, he ain't got that far to move. If he signs with them, right down the Route 3 or 46, whatever highway it is to go over there. But yeah, that'd be a good signing because Mr. Banks, the one that was supposed to be the number one corner, he was pretty bad last year, and they need somebody on the other side besides Flott, Cordell Flott, and they got what's his name, Phillips. The slot cornerback is pretty good, but they need somebody on the other side because most likely they're not going to bring back Adoree Jackson. But the only thing with DJ, he doesn't not a lot of interceptions at all. I think the Giants had like 7 interceptions or whatever, as a team, for the whole team last year. He's not going to come in and be, like that lockdown, cover everybody kind of guy. Just a little bit more stable. That's what he's going to come in and just be stable. So, I wouldn't have a problem, with them signing him.
Kevin, you know anything about DJ Reed?
No, I don't.
I know that you play against them for the Dolphins.
What
But
was his number?
His number. Let me look that up. But while I'm looking, what do you think about him, Gabe? Do you have any thoughts over him or?
Yeah, a lot of people think that he's probably one of the better corners in this free agency, at least, or in this current market. Veteran guy, has experience, but to the point earlier, not he can't be CB1. You're right. This is far from a Darrelle Revis situation.
Yeah,
so he's a guy he's a guy who you bring in to help you with depth at that position. And I wouldn't hate it for the Giants. Not too much of an overall needle mover though.
And there's the stats, Kevin. He had no interceptions. He had 1 in 2023, but none last year. 1 sack. Wow.
Yeah.
For a corner.
Corner blitz.
Corner blitz. That's what the Chiefs did against the Bills. They'll blitz right at the end. I love it. Well, there you have it. Gabe says he's a good guy. Won't hurt the team. It could help, but it won't be a negative. So, and it's one he'll keep the rent or wherever he's living in Bergen County somewhere.
It's expensive, Bergen County. Trust me.
You know why I say that county? Because I met 2 people this past weekend from Bergen County. So
it's expensive. Very, very expensive.
Rex Ryan used to live there.
The where?
Rex Ryan used to live there.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. All right. This is a real quick one. Byron Jones re-signed long snapper Casey Kreider. Nothing too special about that, right?
Not really.
No.
He's got the best job in the NFL. The long snapper. Well, you snap the ball, don't screw it up, and he's good to go.
Exactly. That's important, though. It's very important. That's a very important position.
Yeah. I'll do it for $1 million a year.
Yeah, it's a very important position. You don't get that ball back, your field goals messed up, your punts or whatever.
So
that can change the game,
One of the things about this show, in particular, that we talk about a whole lot about sports business and finance and contracts. Because Byron and Victor are all about the money, all about the contracts. Sometimes it's like a sports business show. It feels like.
Are you living up to your money? What you're earning? And
we're talking about practice squad members, how much they get paid a week, which is pretty nice if you look at it. But anyways, Byron's like, I could do it.
I can do it.
For one snap.
I got one good snap in me. One.
That's all you need.
All right, let's go to the Dolphins. Bradley Chubb agreed to revise contract that keeps him till 2025. Kevin, do you like this deal? Do you like Bradley Chubb?
Yes, I do. When he's on the field. But I read up on that article. It looks like the deal is he still can earn the same type of money, but it's incentive based now. So he has to be on the field to make the money.
That's it.
But I like Bradley Chubb. I think Bradley Chubb, Phillips, and this new cat, Chop Robinson, that could be something else.
Gabe, your thoughts over this signing of the Dolphins and how they're looking up with their defense?
Yeah, I like it. I like Bradley Chubb enough. I'd say they need to do similar moves like this because Tua Tagovailoa, he needs help, is particularly on that O-line. And so whatever other things and other aspects they can do to lessen money in other places and boost up the desperately needed O-line, I think it's a good move. Hopefully this is where they utilize this freed up money now and they don't get a 5th or 6th wide receiver. I think they have plenty of those.
Right.
Mr. Byron, you're all about the defense. What do you think about this this deal?
Talking about the money, as long as we get him on the cheap, because he has been hurt like a lot the last 3-4 years, and maybe putting a lot of incentives in there is going to keep him on the field.
Right.
But if that's what's best for the Dolphins, so be it.
Yeah, because I don't see a 2024 stat. Was he injured most of the time last year? Is that?
He didn't play. He didn't play at all last year.
That's what I thought.
So
wow, can you believe it?
I was at that game when I was at that Baltimore game when he tore his knee up.
Oh wow.
The guy planted and he planted, and then the guy cut. The running back cut, and I was like, oh, he's done.
Yeah, he last played in 2023. Chubb had 73 combined tackles with 45 solo tackles, along with 11 sacks.
He's a
lot
beast.
of sacks.
Beast.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes, man. Yes, sir.
Hey, when that happened, did you grab your knee too?
Oh man, I was hurting, man. I was hurting over there. Cold, I'm from Miami, so cold, and we getting beat.
Kevin's a Miami OG. He was here when the Orange Bowl was up.
When the who?
When the Orange Bowl was up.
Oh yeah, that was my first game. My dad took me to a Jets Dolphin game in the Orange Bowl.
Oh man,
first game.
Quite something. Did you play at the Orange Bowl, Byron?
Yeah, that was my first preseason game. We played the Dolphins down there. It was hot, man. I know it was day, man. It was hot,
sure.
And then it started raining, and then it got more humid, and then it got hot again.
Welcome to Miami. August. It was in August, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was August. It was hot, and Don Strock was a quarterback. He was one of the quarterbacks on there. That's how old I am.
Was it a Woodstock or was it just Don Strock at the time?
It was Don Strock was there. He was there.
Okay.
And the tackle was Norm Evans was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm old.
So if Gabe doesn't know, Byron played in college for Toledo, Tulsa, and then he played for the Minnesota Vikings. So he has his share of experience playing professional and college football. So, but
wow,
quite something here. The biggest news overnight, I was surprised to see this. Chargers releasing Joey Bosa. He spent 9 seasons with the Chargers. He was selected by the Chargers with the number 3 pick in the 2016 draft. I was really surprised about this, Gabe. What are your thoughts over this release? And now I'm hearing he might go to the Niners, but with his brother. But what are your thoughts over this?
I'm a little surprised with this. I liked the progress that we saw of this team in Harbaugh's first year. I would have thought that between what they're building and how they won a lot of games that they would have lost in the previous regime, I would have thought that they would have figured out a way. But listen, I'm not too worried about the Chargers. If anyone's going to find a way to replace Joey Bosa, probably through the sum of the parts, it will be Coach Harbaugh. So I'm not too worried about that. That being said, give me the Bosa brothers in San Fran right now. I'm all for that. I just want the cinema.
I'm sure a lot of Niner fans, including my co-host Ray Sherrod, will take that. But Byron, your thoughts over this? I'm surprised. I mean, you're probably surprised when you saw this.
Yeah, well, he's got 20 again, back to the money thing, 23 million reasons why. He's another guy, it's been hurt every year.
Mm-hmm.
The last 3-4 years, he's hurt all the time. And, he's out there, he does produce, but it's just the fact that you got to be on the field and to justify paying a part-time guy, which it was $23 million is that's not good business. So, good luck, if he ends up with his brother. And don't forget the guy on the other side, Khalil Mack is a free agent, and he's 34 years old.
Yeah, he's out the door too.
The edge rushers.
Yeah, which with this move with Joey, this was save the Chargers $25.36 million in cap space. Kevin, your thoughts over that? I mean, Joey Bosa is actually from South Florida, went to St. Thomas High School up here in Broward. Your thoughts over this move?
I don't think I'm with Byron on that. He's been injured a lot, not on the field, not producing. I don't know. I don't know if it was even in the article that he probably didn't want to restructure. You know, he probably didn't want to restructure, so that's probably why they cut him outright.
Yeah, let me look over that. Unless Gabe knows if that was an issue with the contract.
23 million a year. Huh?
This says it'll be cool at some point. I always thought of myself being somebody that will play here and retire here, which I think not many people will do on one team. And I think it would be a cool thing to accomplish, but you never know.
Huh.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Could have been a
He'll find
contract.
work. He'll find work.
Yeah, he'll
find
find work. Only 29 years old.
Yeah, he'll find work.
Who's better, Byron, Nick or Joey?
Nick.
Why?
He just seems he's on the field a little bit more than his brother, but he just seems more explosive coming around the edge than his brother. To me, he just looks quicker coming around the corner and more of a disruptor now.
He has 72 career sacks, ranked second in franchise history behind Leslie O'Neal.
Wow.
Remember Leslie O'Neal?
Played against him in college, Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah?
I had a feeling you did.
Yeah, I did. Dude, he was great in college. Oh, he was a tremendous player, man.
Really?
Tremendous. Oh, yeah, he's really good.
Interesting enough. Well, there you have it. The Chargers, as Gabe said, I think Harbaugh knows what he's doing. This team, they lost against the Texans. Surprisingly, I thought that was a really surprising game. A lot of us picked the Chargers. I think you picked the Chargers, right, Mr. Byron, or you picked the Texans?
Whatever one Victor picked, I picked the opposite. So.
He definitely picked the Chargers. So you picked. All right. Another big news. Tyler Lockett got released yesterday, and DK Metcalf is demanding a trade. Not sure if it's a Lockett-related situation, but the Seahawks are seeking him first and third round picks for DK Metcalf. Great running back. Great wide receiver. Kevin, what do you think about that? You think he'll be traded out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a first and a third. Oh, yeah. Look for a team that's trying to build a team. Yeah.
He's only 27.
I know. He's a beast, too, man. He's top of his game.
Mr. Jones, your thoughts over this?
First and a third is kind of, I don't know. But, maybe end up with the Giants. Giants need a second. Well, he would be the number one, but, we got Malik. But, like the Chargers, probably a good fit. Eagles want everybody. So, throw them out there with the Eagles. And I'm sure somebody's going to, throw out, a first and a third. Maybe the Chiefs, they need a legitimate, number one guy.
Wide receiver one, which they couldn't figure that one out all season to get that wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Gabe, your thoughts over DK Metcalf? Is this a doable process for the Seahawks, or you think they might just keep him around?
Oh, no. You can't keep him around. Well, once the player demands a trade, there are exceptions to everything, but in this case with DK Metcalf, you got to get him out of the building. That price is going to drop, and I don't think a team's going to bite on a first and the third. That's just a starting negotiation price. I don't think you can ask a team to give up a first and a third if you're genuinely trying to do a trade, unless it's a team that blows all the first round draft picks anyway. In which case, sure, go ahead.
There is an article from the New York Times saying, or from the Athletic, that Seahawks are listening to a DK Metcalf trade, but deal not guaranteed. So they're not like the Browns saying they're not going to trade Myles Garrett, but this team is open to it. So only 27. This guy's pretty good. Played with Geno Smith this past couple of years. Potentially rejoin Russell Wilson wherever he goes. A Raiders move?
Yeah. I think he wants his contract renegotiated too. I think he wants more money.
Yeah. That might be a situation, right, Gabe? That might be a situation where he wants more money, and it might be a negotiating tactic. Seahawks could resign him, so.
Yeah, he probably just wants to play with Aaron Rodgers.
At the Giants, potentially.
I really want to play with this guy.
I don't know about this Aaron Rodgers thing, man. I thought he should have retired
I've got
once
no
he blew that
offense.
Achilles.
Yeah, he
But
used to be great. He used to be great. He used to be great.
it used to be. Mr. Byron, when was
He
he?
didn't, he didn't play that bad, you know, during the course of it wasn't Aaron Rodgers, that we're used to, but 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions or whatever he had. Most teams will take that. They'll take that all day long. But everybody's used to the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers and throwing the tight spiral and all this other stuff. And he gets with the Jets and blows up the team. The GM gets fired, the head coach gets fired, and everybody gets thrown out the building. And now, and they knew he was like that before he even stepped foot in New York, as far as that he has to be the guy. And now since they have Aaron Glenn there, and I guess he put his foot down, like you can't do that podcast, and you can't do
You can't go to the Pat McAfee show.
Pat McAfee. That's pretty cool. But Pat McAfee, and just you got to toe the line like everybody else, and I guess he didn't want to, so they're gonna do what they got to do. The Jets, now they're gonna have to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, that's
Again.
something that the Jets have to do. They do have what's the quarterback they have right now? The Jets, Zach
Wilson.
No, Zach Wilson somewhere else.
Zach.
He's in Denver now.
No, my bag's in Denver. Oh boy, quite going on with the New York Jets. That's a whole different episode. There, they got Tyrod Taylor, yeah, and Jordan Travis. Great something.
Wow.
Yeah, they stole him from the Jets.
Yeah, and the Jets draft position is
Like 10, 9, 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10. Actually, numbers 7, I think.
Oh, right behind the Giants, like usual. Hey, we're getting the Hey,
Yeah. Which we'll go over Byron's mock draft a little bit later in the show. Quite interesting stuff there, especially with the Browns. I want to talk about that. Let's go. Speaking about the Browns. Deshaun Watson restructured his deal. I believe again to create $35.8 million in cap space. Deshaun Watson has been out, has a bad Achilles. He injured his Achilles this past season. He might not play at all next season.
Right.
But the 5-year fully guaranteed contract pays out $230 million through 2025. Watson will have been paid $184 million. Well, that's a lot of money. But roughly half of that amount, $94.6 million, will have hit the cap. That leaves $135.4 million to be charged in 2026 and beyond. And while last year's tweaking of the deal makes it easier to push the dead money out as far as 2029, they won't be fully free of the albatross contract for years to come. Kevin, your thoughts over the situation here over with the Browns and Deshaun?
I think that's the worst contract in NFL history.
Period.
This guy is. I think they still owe him $46 million a year over the next 2 years.
That's correct.
$92 million. Come on. They played 19 games since he came to the Cleveland Browns for $32 million. Divide that into 19. See, oh my God. $230 million over 19.
Byron, your thoughts over the Deshaun situation here in Cleveland?
Well, again, that's Kevin just said it. The worst contract probably in the history of the NFL. I was going to throw Kirk Cousins out there, but I can't because he just has the greatest agent in the history of football. Winning one playoff game and they made $200 or $300 million or whatever. But Deshaun Watson, he left Houston, under a cloud, and got to Cleveland under a cloud, and it just sort of just steamrolled. I feel for the guy. He was always talented. When he played at Clemson, but this is a bad contract. It's really.
Gabriel, how bad is this contract?
Oh no, it's god awful. What I do like here is they're restructuring it so they're kind of spreading out the damage a little bit, so it gives you a little more flexibility, say 3-4 years from now. But I'm not going to give them credit for trying to talk about putting a Band-Aid over this. Like, you dug your own grave, and now they woke up and said, "Oh shoot, we're really doomed here." so I guess it's they had something of a come to Jesus moment, and so I mean, what else do you want from me? They're doomed either way, but this helps to spread out. So hopefully, if you're a Browns fan, the next regime gets a little bit of a better chance and isn't paying as heavily for the sins of the current decision makers.
And Cleveland Browns are at number 2 in the draft this year. Gabe, do you think they'll take a quarterback?
Probably not. They'll probably do something. Not that I'm sold on a lot of these quarterbacks anyway, but whatever Cleveland does, I bet you it'll be stupid.
Might be.
You think they're gonna trade out because they have the number 2 pick overall, right?
They have the number 2 pick overall, right behind Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're gonna pick.
Well, they might get that beast from Penn State and trade Garrett.
Well, Mr. Byron has Abdul Carter going to Cleveland at number 2.
Who?
Abdul Carter.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Which he got a fractured foot, and he's been his doctor's been saying don't get a surgery.
Oh.
Which Byron's like he should.
Yeah, but the only thing with that, they said he might be out like 2 or 3 months, if he gets that, done. And if you're going to pick a guy, number 2, in the draft, you want him to be, healthy, and you don't want to, he gets drafted in April. You figure, has a surgery now, so March. Hopefully he'll be ready for training camp. But then again, do you really want him to go out in training camp after he's just had, a surgery on his foot? So. He shouldn't, it just depends.
Kevin, should he get surgery?
Well, it'd be better for him in the long term because what if he goes out and re-injures himself? Now he's out for half of the season or more. Like Byron said, go ahead and get the surgery. Do his rehab. Just ease him into the training camp. If he's not ready to go full bore in training camp, then let's get him ready for the opening bell.
Gabe?
Regardless of where he goes, they're not making the playoffs in whichever team he ends up going. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So get the surgery, come back close to 100%.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think players that do not get surgery, something happens to them. It's bound to happen. Let's talk about Tennessee here. I know that they've been talking about like legendary players or something this past couple of weeks and months. They may not choose a quarterback. But Cam Ward has been going up in value, Byron, this past couple of days, not weeks, days. You think this kid might go number 1 more than Shador and the other guys?
I think he's put the distance between him and Shador, and then whoever Dart is probably the 3rd guy.
Jackson Dart, yeah.
Yeah, as far as talent wise, he probably had a better interview process because we didn't hear anything, so that's a good thing. If you don't hear anything, that's a good thing.
His stock's been going up.
Yes, and you figure with Sanders, and like I said earlier, some of the things that came out, and I don't know if the GM has a bone to pick with him, as far as just putting the stuff out there. But yeah, Cam Ward, is probably the number 1 guy right now.
The perennial number 1.
Yes.
Kevin, have you followed the draft and the potential picks? Who do you like, and what do you think about
At number 1?
Yeah.
I think Cam Ward has more upside than Shador because the way the league is set up right now.
He's bigger than Shador.
Guys come around that corner. You got to be able to move, man. You got to be able to move. So,
Gabe, what have you been hearing about number 1 for Tennessee?
So I'm friends with, and his name is @Mr. First Down on the X. He's a Tennessee fan, and he has some actual insider connections there with that organization. He down there in Tennessee. He's hearing trade down, and that I wouldn't mind that. Like they have just like the article, like QB or team needs QB, wide receiver, edge, OT, safety, linebacker, corner, slot receiver, running back. Like you could put it all in there for
Long
them.
snapper.
So if they
They need a
do
new
end up
team.
trading
They need a
down,
new
I don't
team.
think that. Yeah, trading down wouldn't be the worst option for them.
And keep in mind, this team has a new GM. And I think they're the only NFL team that has a team president, I believe. And last season, it was the decisions were between the GM and the president, which was kind of weird. Usually the GM, but the president had some more say, and the GM had some other say. So they're going through a lot of restructure. And they also lost Mike Vrabel a year ago. I haven't heard good things about the ownership, to be honest. The only thing good in Tennessee is there's no taxes to pay, state taxes. So, but other than that, we'll see what happens. Trading down, I did hear that 2 games, so that's a possibility. Number 2, Byron, you had Abdul Carter. You talked to him a little bit about that. Let's go to the Giants. Travis Hunter. No quarterback there, but you think he's going to the Giants?
Yes, because he fits a need. Corner. I'll be playing the corner first, and then you have packages with him as far as receiver. With on the other side of Malik Neighbors, that probably be a pretty good combination. Even though they still have to work on the quarterback situation, at least you'd have 2 guys and the tight end that's coming back off of injury. Theo Johnson and Robinson.
Evan Ingram got released today. FYI.
Who?
Evan Ingram from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Really?
Yeah, FYI. I don't know if he'll go back to New York, but
Travis would be a good pick, for them, and I'm pretty sure he would probably succeed, in the bright lights of New York City.
And do you like him as a corner or as a wide receiver?
Long-term cornerback, make more money. Again, the money thing. Wide receiver.
You're right. We had that conversation last week.
Yep. Corner. I like him in the corner.
Gabe, what do you hear about Travis Hunter? What do you think about him going to the Giants? Is that a good fit?
Yeah, I think he'd be fine in New York City. It takes a certain person to play well in New York City, so that's real. That's something. I think for me, if the ball comes his way, obviously he's super dynamic, but I think he's better with it in terms of lateral speed and vertical speed. I think he's just better at wide receiver, and I think he'll get burned too much at corner. Just his current skill set that can be improved on, of course, but I don't love him at corner right now.
Yeah, and also there's a plus side with wide receiver, as Mr. Byron said, that you get more money as a wide receiver. But Victor had a prediction. He said the cornerbacks will probably get paid as well in the future. You think?
You got what Sauce Gardner, for the Jets. His contract coming up. Sure, I think it is, and he's probably reset the market. And you figure Surtain, I'm sure he's getting paid, but it's 2 or 3 of them that are getting up there, in the money range as far as playing corner.
Yeah, that's something else. I was gonna say, where's the Dolphins at here? They got pick number. What pick was it? Oh, number 13, right, Kevin?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So last week, Papa Paul, another guest, he said he wanted Josh Simmons to the Dolphins. Kevin, what have you heard about the Dolphins? What do the Dolphins need? I know they need a lot of stuff. What do you think?
Offensive line.
And this guy is an offensive tackle.
I mean, we need a lot of help up on that offensive line, man.
So, what do you think about him, Byron? The Dolphins. Oh, Byron's out. Gabe.
Every now and then, Santiago, I have a full circle moment. Was I not just preaching about the need for offensive line help with the Dolphins? Look at this. Ask and you shall receive.
There you go, Josh Simmons. Everyone's agreeing with it. Byron, do you agree Josh Simmons is the Dolphins? And I heard you can get a good discount for him.
The only thing with him is that he's coming off an injury. I think he's a knee injury or something.
So Achilles or knee or ankle? I don't remember.
Knee, ankle, one of the 2. And
what's his number?
Good offensive linemen.
I can't see.
They can get somebody.
Where do you want to see Kevin?
His numbers is
His numbers
his
is
height and weight. And
he's
stuff like that.
310 pounds. He's 6'5",
Okay.
and I don't
Okay.
see any stats of him. He might have been
310. Okay.
310. This guy should be good for the Dolphins.
Okay. Yeah, mom. Yeah.
22 years old.
We need an offensive line. We need an offensive line like Philly. 6'6", 330 average.
Right.
That's monstrous.
Which, either way, Myles Garrett, we spoke about him a couple of minutes ago. I heard that the Eagles cannot afford Myles Garrett, Byron.
Oh.
Like, it's too much money.
Mm.
That rumor circulating to him going to the Eagles. I don't know about that.
Well, for some reason, Howie Roseman is pretty good at moving money around.
Right.
You know, with Saquon getting all the money he's getting, you know, he's the highest paid running back in NFL history now. They re-signed, you know, the linebacker. And for some reason, the Eagles, I don't know why everybody can't do it, are able to get like I looked at like Saquon, for example, his salary was like $1 million or whatever it was, $1 million or $2 million. But then, you know, he got all the bonus money. But Howie takes a lot of the money and pushes it down the road, where, you know, they're not going to see the third, fourth, you know, year of that contract because of the way he structured everything. So if they really wanted to sign, you know, or get Myles Garrett, I think they could do it. I think Howie would move stuff around to make it happen if they really wanted.
That's called finagling. Yeah, they did resign Zach Bond to a 3-year worth $51 million for a linebacker.
It's good money. Good money.
It's good money for a good player.
16, 17 a year. Yeah.
And as Byron mentioned, they signed Saquon to a 2-year extension worth $41.2 million.
Yep.
20.
My Lord.
20.
And you know, Eagles also did. They released cornerback Darius Slay.
Bradbury too.
Wow.
They got them young boys, man. They got, you know, Mitchell. They got DeJohn. They got, they're loaded, man. They have a lot of good corners, man. They have Isaiah Rodgers. They have that kid. They got King, one of the Georgia kids. They're, as far as defensive backs, they're pretty set for a minute.
Gabe, what do you think about these roster moves with the Eagles, and could potentially see a Myles Garrett wearing green?
Yeah, if anyone ever says, "Oh, such and such can't happen," they just aren't paying attention to the NFL. Stuff happens all the time when there's a willingness and when people apply a little IQ, a little business IQ. If anyone's going to do it, it'll be Howie Roseman. In terms of Slay, I think I wouldn't mind him going back to the Detroit Lions. That's getting a lot of traction, and that's an area that the Lions need shored up anyway. So Darius Slay to Detroit is something to monitor.
Byron, you like that move?
Yeah, that'd be a good move for him to go back home. Or the other good move would be Myles Garrett end up in Detroit.
That too, I've been hearing. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Also, another team we talked about is the Commanders. That'd be a good place for him too.
Oh God, they're loaded. Oh,
they got money, don't they, Byron?
A whole bunch of it.
They're gonna be a problem down the road. Oh man.
And they got Debo.
Yeah, they're gonna be a problem.
And Scary Terry.
So they got two. He has two options. Jaden Daniels, quarterback for the Commanders.
The tackle wants to get traded. He wants to leave. Jonathan Allen, I think, wants out.
Jonathan Allen wants to get traded.
Yeah, he wants out. So
they got another kid that just let me help me out here. They did get someone else. I'll pull it up here. Bobby Wagner, he's back.
Oh yeah, that's right. He signed a 1-year deal.
He got to come back, man. That's the glue. That's the glue in the defense.
Yep, he's coming back from. I think he was in Jacksonville.
No, he was with them.
He was with what? Sorry.
He was with Washington. Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, but he left, right? But he went. Where did he go?
No, he was there last year. He was with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see it. I'm
Hey,
trying to put my
1-year deal.
table. That's right. Yeah, he just got to resign. All right. Well, good for the Commanders. Good for the Eagles. I don't know. I still think top two are the Eagles and the Commanders. Am I right? Can anyone disagree on that?
You are correct.
You are correct.
Yeah, I don't see the Giants or the I don't know about the Cowboys, but they did a move. They restructured Dak Prescott's contract, create space cap for 2025. His contract was pretty big.
$60 million. It might be the worst contract in the NFL history. 2 years from now.
That's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, man. He can't. That can't.
Kirk Cousins is a gangster.
What are your thoughts about that, Gabe?
Well, listen, they're now creating cap space and what have you. Are they going to do anything with it this time, or are we going to hear all about this all-in business again from Jerry Jones? Do something with this.
Yeah, and they tagged one player this past couple of weeks. Cowboys also signing Osa Odigizwawa to a 4-year, $80 million deal, Byron.
Their best defensive lineman. They had to resign him. Now they need to work on the other guy, that one that wears number 11. He needs to get paid. I don't know what you're going to pay him, because I don't know what the top edge rushers are getting, but he's probably going to be at the top of the food chain. So
close to 40. He won't close. He's going to demand probably close to 40.
You think so?
35 to 40 million. Yeah, you got to give it to him, and he's ridiculous.
And something that we have to bring up: Matt Crosby is now the most highest pay rusher as an edge rusher.
Okay, what's that number?
$35 million.
That's the number.
Byron, that resets the rule. That resets the market, Byron. Your thoughts on that?
There you go. So whatever he got, Micah gonna get. What is that, 106 or whatever the number is? Or that's the number that Micah Parsons is looking at right now.
They got Nick Bosa at second, Josh Hines Allen at $20 million, Brian
35.
Burns, then TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, $25 million, Monty Sweat, 24.5.
Wait. Did you say Brian Burns?
I did.
New York Giants. That high? Oh my God.
$28 million. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Michael
Go ahead,
wants
Kevin.
40. Michael wants 40. If Max Crosby getting 135, which he deserved every penny of it,
Who would have thought edge rusher was going to be highest paid, Gabe? Who would have thought?
You wouldn't think that, but it makes sense because quarterback's the most important position. So consequently, if you got a guy that can get to the quarterback, he's pretty damn valuable too.
Neutralize. Look at the
Kevin,
Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, who's been your favorite edge rusher historically, Kevin? You are a man of history, Kevin Tyree. Who's your favorite edge rusher of all time?
I'm a homer, man. Jason Taylor. You know I was gonna say that.
He could have been paid $35 million today.
Of course, he was that bad. He was a bad boy.
Whoa! Don't leave Lawrence Taylor out. What do you think they're gonna pay him?
Oh my goodness!
That's a $50 million boy.
Yeah. He started all this.
Couldn't afford him.
Nope. He started all this. Yep.
And look at Bradley Chubb right there. Dolphins brought up right there, top 10.
Right. Is that with the restructure and everything?
I believe so. This is from overthecap.com.
Okay.
They're pretty up to date, so I'm sure this is probably included. So let's look at defensive back. I know you guys are numbers people. Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Surtain, that's Victor's favorite. Antoine Winfield Jr., 21 million. Jared Alexander, 21 million. AJ Taylor, 20 million. Denzel, 20. Marlon Trevor, Marshawn Tyson, and 19. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
A lot of money being thrown around.
Ooh.
Look at the OL. Tristan Wirfs, 28 million, number one. Penei Sewell, 28.
Damn.
27, Trent. Christian Dorsal, 26. Laramie Tunsil, look at the guy who got in trouble, getting paid 25. He's in the top 10. Andrew Thomas, 23.5, Byron. Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, always hurt too.
Trey, 23. Jordan, 22. Landon Dickerson, 21. Christian Lindstrom, 20.5.
A lot of money. Ooh.
I might have had to switch on the other side of the ball, man. Go play offensive line instead of defensive end. Whew, them guys, man. It would have been a lot easier too.
Oh my gosh, we're numbers people. I gotta leave this website to Victor. He'll look at it every day.
Oh, without a doubt.
Anyways, well, there you have it. The numbers are there. Let's go into more news here. We talked about Devontae Adams, and I do want to mention the great Cowboy coach, the greatest Cowboy coach of all time, Jimmy Johnson. He's retiring from Fox. No longer will be joining Gronk or the other guys on Fox on Sunday. Byron, I was sad to hear this. Were you sad?
Yeah, I was sad. Oh, met him too when he coached at Oklahoma State. We played them, and we were standing in the the walkway to come out the field. I didn't realize how short that guy is.
Oh yeah,
because we were standing. I'm looking at him, I was like, man, he's kind of short. But yeah, he had a great career. Oklahoma State. At Miami. With the Dallas Cowboys, of course, and nothing but the best, man. He did a tremendous job with at the NFL Fox, for years. And I'm happy, what is he, 80 years old, 81 years old, that now he's gonna have a chance, go on that boat, down in Florida and ride around the boat and do a little fishing and just hang out now.
Yeah.
Kevin Tyree, your thoughts on Jimmy Johnson retiring and any good memories from him?
I agree with him. I think a lot of these coaches and stuff like that, they made the money, they got enough money to last them, throughout their lives. They should just go and enjoy the rest, the fourth quarter of your life. You should enjoy it, Yeah.
Gabe's a young guy. You don't remember much about Jimmy when he coached, right?
No, I was born in 96.
Oh, wow. That's when he retired.
Graduated 87.
So Jimmy Johnson's one of the 3 head coaches, guys, to win both a Super Bowl and a college football national title.
Mm-hmm.
Who were the other 2 coaches that did that?
Come on, man. We know that.
I know Byron knows, but I'm asking Kevin and Gabe.
I don't think I know.
I haven't seen that question yet.
Let me see.
You're saying both college and pro.
College pro. One is still active.
For sure, Carroll.
Yep, you got that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And who's the other guy? He was also a Cowboy coach too.
Cowboy coach too?
Oh, not Miles, or not Jason Garrett.
The guy from Oklahoma.
Yep, you got it. Kevin's
Switzer.
got it.
Switzer.
Barry Switzer. There you have it.
Oh.
Yeah, he took over. He took over Jimmy Johnson's team.
No, he didn't take over. He was handed that team.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh damn.
In the words of Jimmy of Harry Jones, anyone could have coached that team.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. They pretty much did what they wanted to do.
Oh well, there you have it. A lot going on in the NFC East. We talked about the Giants. They still haven't found their quarterback. We talked about the Eagles doing their money thing. They're releasing and they're getting players. The Commanders got Debo. They're looking good. Cowboys are restructuring contracts. As Gabe said, we don't know what they're going to do. But the NFC East making some news, right, Byron? Not bad.
Well, finally, we're back in the news. The NFC East.
That's something, yeah.
There you
know
have
what
it.
I hope for?
What
I
do you
hope
for?
I hope for the days where it's no longer the NFC least, but the NFC beast. That's my wish for you.
Oof. NFL Beast. There you have it. Before we go, Gabe, tell us what you've been working on, what writing, and tell us a little bit about like the sports that you like to write about.
Sure. So thank you for having me on the Jersey Boys. This was fun. I had a blast. So thank you. We're doing a lot of sports, spread, money line, odds, predictions articles here at Sportscast. I'm liking it. Hot in the NBA right now. We have a big UFC card coming up, so stay tuned for that. And at Sports Pulse 100 on the X.
On the X, you can see it there on the screen. A lot going on with the NBA. The Mavericks are imploding as we speak. They lost Kyrie this week. They lost Duke a couple weeks ago. They lost Anthony Davis a couple weeks ago. And the teams that got the players, like the Lakers and the Warriors, they're shining. So they're doing well in the NBA. Kevin, your thoughts over the Heat getting rid of Butler? We haven't got your take on that.
The Heat is, I'm not a big fan of the Heat. Well, I am a big fan of the Heat. I am a Heat fan, but I am a diehard Dolphin fan. So to me, it's not about the players, it's about the team. And the way he acted, the way he was, come on, man, you making $40 million a year and you acting like a little baby. Come on, man. I'm gonna feel sorry for you because you're going to another team and then you're gonna make more money. No. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, and Dolphins. I mean, the Heat are rebuilding. They got Tyler Hero on the helm. They got Bam. I remember a couple of years ago, people want to get rid of Bam, but now he's the centerfold with him and Hero.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with the Heat. Byron, you're gonna watch some more basketball now that Luka is playing with LeBron?
No.
Short answer. No.
That 4-year-old man is scoring 40 points. It's incredible.
That tells you how bad everybody else is if they let a 40-year-old guy.
You're a bad boy.
That's true. We'll see what happens in Butler and the Warriors. Yeah, we'll see. Now they're saying that the old teams, the old guys are going to come and win the championship again. So we'll see what happens. But watch out for the Cavaliers. That team is special.
Oh, yeah.
They clinched last night. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs. They got to go through the Celtics, of course, but that should be something. Anyways, as we close, you can reach us at the Sportscast1 on X and Instagram or the sportscast.net. We'll be live tweeting throughout the weekend, like going on soccer, UFC, NBA, Major League Baseball opening days in a few weeks. Just spoke to someone about it about an hour ago. The Yankees are allowing facial hair, Byron. Can you believe that?
Wow. Oh, that may, I'm sure there's play a little bit better now, maybe. I doubt it.
Hopefully win. I don't think they can beat the Dodgers. Victor will be back next week. He is in Texas in Grapevine. He's trying to get an interview with Jerry Jones. But I wish him luck on that.
He's trying to come up with the 10% to buy the Giants, man. I keep hounding him, for 5%, man. I got my 5%. He needs to come up with his 5%.
That's true. It's the New York Giants are selling 10% of their stake. Kevin, any closing words before we go?
Oh, no, I just appreciate, every time you guys invite me on, I have a great time. Looking forward to the next time. And just wish the best for everyone. Everybody be safe,
Free agency begins Monday. Mr. Byron, any closing words before we go? Will we have a quarterback for the Giants by next Thursday?
No. Well, we did resign, what's his name? Tommy Cutler. We got Tommy Cutler, man. That's all we need, man. That's all we need.
He might be QB1. We'll find out.
Yeah, for now.
Anyways, this is Santiago covering for Victor. As Victor always ends the show, peace.